Okay, still working on this thing here. What I've decided to do is I'm going to replace these small motors, small step motors, with these larger ones that I happen to have, and see how those go. I got to get some hardware, so I'm going to have to drive out and get that. And what I'm going to do is, here's some timing belt, cogged belt for off of one of the printers, and I got a bunch of the pulleys as well. But the belt is a little long, and there's no way to splice it that I'm aware of. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and drive out and see what the smallest chain I can pick up is, and go from there. So anyways, I'll be back in a minute. Hey guys, okay, so it's later in the evening now, and I've got all these bigger motors on here mounted, and it looks like it works better. I don't hear the grumbling that I was hearing before that is pretty indicative of losing steps. So let's just do a print here, and we'll see how we go. This is once again doing the same thing it was doing before, where it's just drawing a rectangle. Now that I've got these bigger motors on here, I turned up the current from the drivers for the motors, and hopefully it'll have a little more power. It still has a lot of sensitivity to that, when the track, when it gets off skew on the track there, and that. I figured out that it's probably less than 1 revolution, which would be like 50 thousandths of an inch of difference in alignment between the two sides. On the bigger systems, on the big gantry systems, they apparently have a setup where it auto-homes or auto-aligns them, where it drives back to the home position for it, and it looks at the home sensors, basically, which is probably nothing more than the switch, but nevertheless, it makes sure that they both hit home at the same time. If it doesn't, it tracks back and forth and adjusts so that they do. That's a little sophisticated for this system, and certainly the software in this little blob, but nevertheless, I'm going to try a few more experiments where I'm going to dial up the speed, but I'm just going to do it on the x-axis because that moves fairly well right now. I am definitely going to have to include a system to coordinate the two axes together. I've got the belts, I've got pulleys. I'll have to make little aluminum, I don't know what you want to call it, hubs for these, so that I can put them on here. They almost would go on over this bolt, but not quite, and I'm not going to machine a bolt down to do it. So I'll just turn down a hunk of aluminum and make it fit accordingly. So anyways, if there isn't anything exciting to see, this is it for the day. Later, guys. Okay, still working. It hasn't went out of track. Definitely the bigger motors here have made a difference in the ability of the system to not lose steps. I'm overriding the speed in this software package here, and I'm telling it, well, the camera doesn't like that, does it? 150 to the speed, but I don't know, it seemed to be not making any difference past 50, and it also doesn't help that I don't know the units. I don't know if that's 150 inches a minute, or that's 150 centimeters a minute, or if the units in the G code, are for the movements are in centimeters or inches. Certainly seems to be moving more than half a centimeter, but it doesn't seem to be, because those are describing an arc segment of a circle, it doesn't seem to be doing an inch in diameter circle, so I'm not really sure. But I'll run it for you guys and you can see it. It makes lots of cool noises. And it seems to work. Now I also still have to do my calibration on the controller in the box here. So maybe I'll do that, but I think I will call it a night for posting any more videos. Still not 100% ready, but I'd actually be willing to try this even without the belt to synchronize it. I did drive into 2 different cities or towns looking for small light-duty chain to use on this end, but I couldn't find any. Nobody had any. The smallest they had was 35, which I would have probably been able to work with, but nobody had any small cogs, so, or sprockets, I should say. So, kind of stuffed on that one. I think that's a little loose there. It might be causing a little bit of problems. Getting a bit of play. The obviously the outer diameter of the 1/4 inch threaded rod is a little bit smaller than the inner diameter of the bearings, which I believe is the way that it really works. Anyways, I'm rambling. I'll talk to you later, guys. Thanks for watching.